back, and it's so good to be back on air. Sorry I couldn't do Wednesday. Some of you would have got the letter. I got my own letter, the same one that everyone else was sent out to all the subscribers. I only got that a couple of days ago. But anyway, so Wednesday I had to go travel to get a small surgery done. Anyway, here I am. And it's Sunday morning, and I always like to give a little Sunday thought as to what, when, where, and how. Today, I wanted to talk about regrets. You know, the song, Frank Sinatra made it popular, where he says, regrets, I have a few. And then at the end of the song, of course, there is, I'll do it my way. Unfortunately, sometimes my way is not the easiest and the best way. And I thought a lot about what are regrets? Because when as you move on in life, there, when you look back, there are a few things. Usually, I found it's either something you wish you had done or you wish someone else had done. And so, what's the answer to that? What's the answer to the regrets? Because if you have too many of them, it weighs heavily in your life and your your vibration, etc. And that is acceptance that whatever it is happened. And if you choose, which I always find is preferable, self-forgiveness, to forgive self for whatever part you played in, whether you didn't say anything or you said too much or you were angry and it came out incorrectly, because we don't always change that when that occurs. All those things become important. But regrets are a part of our lives. And it's something we need to sort of come to terms with of how, what, when, and where. Are we being defensive? Are we taking a stand and with, I'm right, and therefore this is it? Are we blocking others out because of that? And it does happen for sure. Also, do you just feel insecure when somebody has a different opinion than you or says something that is critical of what you have done or planning on doing, etc.? So you're not getting support. Really, it comes down to communication. How good are you at communicating? I know sometimes in the past, I haven't been the best in communicating when it comes to personal things. I was a holder of things in, and I have quite a bit of regret about that over the years, how the regret builds and how it always sort of comes in one way or another, how it comes together. But it's something I think that we as advanced or humans that want to be more effective in life, we need to take a look at. And so it's not burdening us because, I'm on the older spectrum. So I've lived through a lot of things. And if you're looking back over your life, and you can, even when you're 30, you can look back over and say, well, I didn't handle that well, or I'm upset that happened. And often, for me anyway, it's always been about communication. It was the environment I grew up with, is that I shut down and went away. So it was a habit. And so when something came up that I didn't know what to do with, I didn't know what the emotion was, I didn't know where to place it and things like that, I would shut down and go away and probably think about it or ruminate on it and wish I could have said this or that or done this or done that, but I didn't, because it wasn't in my childhood upbringing to do that. I mean, if you spoke out of turn, you kind of usually felt a hand of some kind that wasn't really the greatest. But at the same point, eventually I had to become more aware to be able to speak up. Have I ever stopped? I used to talk a lot as a kid, so that was known for the chatterbox. But I didn't talk about what I was upset about or what I wanted different or how I would like to see things. So it's like we get these habits of responding or how we deal with things. And it's when you get to a certain point, when you start looking back, and you think, well, jeepers, when your mind doesn't always like what went on, and what do you do to change it? Can you change it? How do you change it? And sometimes, like myself, will tend to do, the old saying, put your head in the sand, is I'll just let it go. Just let it go and just hope it changes. And if it doesn't change, well, it doesn't change. So, but that is not the answer. That is not actually what I'm saying is don't do what I do. Put your head in the sand and ignore it and carry on the best you can, because it's really about acceptance. Whatever's happened that shut you down, because that's what you do when you regret, you shut down. You don't regret over things you dealt with. You don't regret things that maybe somebody else has done to you or for you or around you or whatever, but you felt the reaction of that. It doesn't really work. So what we're looking at is communication. Self communication has to start first. And that to me is causes self forgiveness. Because if you take a defensive stand, which is what we tend to do when something isn't quite what going on right, arguments usually, or somebody said something that hurts, we retreat. And what we need to do, first of all, not only accept what's gone on, but then forgive. And always, sometimes you can't forgive the person who may be perpetrated or yourself. Self forgiveness you can do. How do you respond? So that it's like clearing the slate so that you're able to move forward, not only with acceptance, but forgiving yourself and knowing that doing it your way isn't always the best way. So communication with self, communication with others, being able to be clear in your how you say things, how you want things, how you want things to be, how you want them to come together is incredibly important, because mostly we want to stay away from the regretful part, confronting sometimes the things that really have hurt us and we don't know how to change that. So it's like, yeah, the song, Frank Sinatra in his songs, regrets I have a few, but at the end he says, I do it my way. We all do it our own way, but does it work? Do we get the success that we want? Do we have a life that we want? Because remember, we are all energy. And if you have something that is unresolved or bothers you, it goes out into your energy field and probably will attract something else will do the same thing. If you concentrate on those things that you don't like, that bother you, etc., guess what? You'll attract more. So that's when we look at a habit of what we have to do, or like what we're doing, sorry, because we just keep doing it. We don't offer to change. And it doesn't matter when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or whatever. We tend to get very ingrained in those habits. Where we're critical, we'll keep being critical. Where we speak our truth, we'll either overspeak our truth when we maybe needing to say anything, or we won't say our truth at all because we don't feel it's going to be accepted. So there's a whole lot of things that go on with regret. The only thing I know is that you don't really want it in your system. And you can't always square things up with people that have, as I said, something that you wish you had done or someone else has done and how you've handled it. Can't always work it out that way because every person has their own modus operandi that they work on. But you can clear your regrets. You can clear and forgive yourself for not acting or responding effectively. I know I've done a lot of that over my life. Forgiveness is a big part of acceptance comes first, forgiveness comes second. And through the communication, to a large degree, life kind of can smooth out, especially in groups and things like that. But look to your childhood. Look to see when you began not speaking your truth, or if you did, you spoke harshly or angrily. Look to see how you respond, things like that, just so that you're aware of the patterns that happen. Because if something happens one time and you don't deal well with it, and then you may regret. You may not regret some of these things till you're much older and you're looking back. But you can forgive yourself. You can clear your energy fields. So that doesn't bring other things in. So what happens? That more easier and gentler and more lovable things. So I'm going to suggest for Sunday Thought that you just spend a short while looking about what regrets do you really have? What are they? And forgive yourself for them. And do that self-forgiveness element. Do that. Let it go. See it in light. Put lots of loving light around it and just send it off, even if it's a bubble. There's many ways we can forgive ourselves and let energy go. But right now, I'm just seeing this beautiful bubble of golden light because I work with gold light a lot, and just letting everything go so that you can come back into a nice place of filling the spaces up within you with your golden light and love yourself and feel the gentleness. With regret is not gentle. It's a block. And we need to let those go. So that's my Sunday thought. I'll be back on Wednesday. And when I come back on Wednesday, we'll also have the tarot reading for October. And but before that, I'll be back tomorrow night for mental mind treatment. So we're back on track again. We're back into the Monday nights, Wednesday mornings, Sunday morning, and we'll go from there. You have a great day. It's sunny here. We have had a little bit of cloud and a bit cooler, but it looks very nice today. So enjoy. Thank you. Bye now.